Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Opportunities Connected. Justin, it's always a great opportunity to see you, my brother. How are you today?
I'm extremely well, feeling very motivated and super excited for this live today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And if this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, that share button, and leave your comments. We'd love to be in tune with you. And welcome to Opportunities Connected. Yes. It's another episode, and we're excited to bring some good, positive energy your way. We're happy to have you here with us. And Justin, loving your energy as always. And it's great because we understand each other's styles. And just so happens, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about having good, effective communication and understanding different styles and how personality tests can also help us. And we're not talking about popular personalities or not less popular personality. That's not what we're talking. We're talking about being able to break down these barriers, sometimes that without us seeing these hidden barriers, without us seeing them, that might be between us, to help us understand each other when we're working with each other, when we're building relationships with each other, so on and so forth.
Justin, this live works perfect because we understand our communication style.
That's right.
You talk to me the way I like to be spoken to, and I do my best to speak to you the way you want to be spoken to.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people overlook this. Like, they think, oh, there's a problem at the workplace, but they don't really dive into how they're properly communicating or how they enjoy to be communicated to,
That's it. And not everyone's the same. I like to come with a very optimistic approach, and I know that being an optimist doesn't define all of me. That's just one portion of me. But not everyone looks at each situation the same way. But understanding that and understanding that that's that person's style helps me to communicate better with them. And so that I'm not overwhelming them with trying to make them my style or trying to look at their style as something that shouldn't be allowed. It's more about getting each other. Yes, this person is this way. This person is that way. It's not a negative nor a positive. It's just who they are and how we work with each other to kind of understand each other.
100%. And before I dive into how I use this in the workplace, let's go back to college, right?
Yeah.
You go to a bar and talk to a girl. You're not just going to talk to every girl one way. Otherwise, you're very limited to the amount of dates you're going to get,
Right. That's right.
Everybody needs to be spoken to differently. So going back to the professional world, leaving college and high school behind, I have everybody on my team take a personality test.
Right.
It takes about 20 minutes. Some tests takes an hour. You don't need that long. Find the test. That's free, of course. Don't pay for these personality tests. There's free ones everywhere. But we not only get to find out about other people, we get to learn about ourselves. We get to truly learn our strengths, our weaknesses, and how can we move forward powerfully in the workplace.
That's it.
Understanding ourselves along with understanding your coworkers, which is so important.
And to that point, we've done it in the professional world on our end as well, where we've taken different types of tests. I've seen them before, between Myers-Briggs types to the DISC or the Enneagram test, to help each of the employees or teammates or staff members kind of get a better feel for each other. I know one thing that's real popular over on the federal side is the DISC assessment. And while I don't necessarily agree with all of the different parts of it, I find value in the test because the test does reflect an opportunity to break down these barriers that might exist between teammates out there. But we're not talking about those specific tests. There's a test that I like that Justin, you share sometimes with your team, and we're going to share a link with you guys here on Opportunities Connected, so that you guys can also take the opportunity to take this test. Now, before we hop into what the test is, what are some of the benefits of doing this test?
Oh, 100%. And the link specifically that we're going to share that I share of my team, it is a free link. Not
Yes.
only does it give you resources for days, like some of the links has 150 pages about your personality type alone. But again, you can learn your strengths, your
That's it.
weaknesses. Like what a lot of people on my team, what I hear a lot is the, oh man, that's so right.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's one thing for someone to tell you this is where your challenge is. It's another for you to read it and say, wow, I can really connect with that. That's actually true. This
Yeah.
is how I can benefit. So, one of the strengths is definitely being able to seek improvement. That's
Yeah.
number one. Another one is like, use this for your relationship. I know my wife and I have done this together. And, if you and your partner is exactly the same 24/7, you're probably dating your twin, which is
Yeah.
not okay. I'm gonna mute myself real quick. My dog is
Oh
going.
no, it's all good. It's welcome sound. It makes it so real. That's also a part of understanding this. I have a Chihuahua. And all she
Yeah,
loves to do is bark. So it's totally understandable. But to your point, it's true. Like even if you take a moment to do this with your cohort or with your friends, or if you even do it with your partner or whomever you're in a relationship with, it's a good bonding moment there, and just kind of a little moment where you get to step back and say, okay, interesting. But a very important part of this that I like, and you and I had an opportunity to talk about this, is that you don't use the test to point out things that are negative or might
correct.
be a weakness of someone else. You use it to reflect on some of the things that you like to challenge yourself to possibly improve on. And
100%.
I like kind of like how you present it and stuff. And I want you to share a little bit more about that because it's a cool way to help folks open up rather than throw up a wall. And sometimes with personality tests, when people receive that or think about it, it's like, okay, well, I don't need something for me to point out my flaws, and then I have to expose myself to everyone. And that's not what this is about. This is more about breaking down those barriers, breaking down those hidden walls, and understanding each other better. Let's look at ways we can communicate with each other better.
Yes, 100%. So, definitely for us, like with the teenagers in my program, right? It's really finding that career path for them as well. Like they know what they're good at, and then being able to seek their career path is also
You're right.
way we use this as well. So, but you hit the nail on its head. Definitely using the personality test to not point something negative out on somebody, but definitely how can I be better and how can I work better with you? How can I talk to you the way you want to be spoken to?
Right.
So, and the test that we're going to share that's right down here on the link,
Yeah.
right down there, like has resources for days. You can literally learn about yourself, how you
Yeah.
can grow, how you can communicate.
So I'm going to share. I'm share the page where the link takes you, just so you can see it's a legit site, and definitely leave some of your answers and stuff like that in the comments. Tell us about the how it was when you took the test. I am also going to take the test, and
Yes.
on our next episode talk about the results. Just share some of that. But here, yes, so this is awesome, and I appreciate this. So let's look. So this is what linked to 16 personalities test. Tell us a little bit more about this test.
Oh yeah. So with this test, again, everyone has different personalities. What's so funny is a lot of people who believe that they come off as the D disc, right? The dominant personality. They actually learn that they're different. They're not really as dominant as they thought, or literally those who just speak a lot. Like you
Yeah,
really truly learn. And I know I take this test annually, and I've changed.
man,
So I'm always
that's
seeking to improve. I'm always seeing how I can be better. And to my surprise, my personality did change. So on this website, it's going to take you about 20 minutes. Okay.
yeah,
It's asking you what I've noticed is it asks the same questions. I don't even want to spoil the questions for you. So I'm going to put a halt on that. But you're
right,
going to see. So you're going to answer the questions. And then it's okay to put your email in. It's not going to bombard you with. I have yet to get a email of them advertising something. They literally just send your personality type to you. But if you don't want to input your email, you don't have to. Just click submit when you're done. It doesn't require any payment. And literally, you just go to your personality type. If you want to pull up that website again,
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
show you really quickly how we can show the different personality types. All right.
So I
Go to resources at the very top. Yep. And then we are going to go down to
country profiles.
not country profile. Actually, scroll down.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. That's the romance. Oh, I'm sorry. At the very top, it says personality types already. It's already broken up by itself. So at the very top, where you clicked on resources, click
Yeah,
on
right
personality.
there. Awesome.
Yeah, so those are the different personality types.
Nice. And so we have analysts, diplomats, sentinels, and explorers.
So, brother, what I want you to do, I want you to assume who you think you are. Which one of those do you think you are? Read the description and tell me what you think.
Okay.
Let's open it up.
Yeah.
And then let's see what the feedback is, see if you truly relate to it. And then later, I would love for you guys to take the test. And for those who are watching this, before taking the test, I want you guys to see which one of these do you think best describes you, and then take the test.
So I think, I imagine that I'd be a diplomat, but I'm looking here, explorers and personality. I'm excited to take it. Now, I kind of want to see what it's going to turn out to be. So I'm going to click on diplomat here. And it has here an advocate, a mediator, protagonist, and campaigner.
Yeah, so there's 4 different types of diplomats. It really breaks it down to the specific type that you are. So if you can read the definition of each.
Yes. So advocate, it has quiet and mystical, yet very inspiring and tireless idealist. Mediator, poetic, kind, and altruistic people, always eager to help a good cause.
Now, does that sound like you or what?
Yeah.
Right? So keep going, keep going.
I know. Protagonist, charismatic and inspiring leader, able to mesmerize their listeners. That's you too.
Last year when I took this test, that's what I got. It's different now, actually, for me.
Interesting. You know what? That's true for a lot of some of the other tests. And please keep that in mind, that as you grow and as your circumstances change, your personality and your style sometimes adjust to it. And then you have campaigner, which is the 4th one in here. That says enthusiastic, creative, and sociable, free spirit who can always find a reason to smile. Man.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then, so for those who are watching, if you just click on any one of those, it even breaks it down even further. It will literally tell you your strengths and weaknesses, your relationship goals, your career paths.
Yeah.
And you should never follow a piece of paper or a document.
Of course. Yes.
You have to guide you. Like, how can I be better? So
right. And my friends, they often they joke around with me, asking if I've won enough votes. So I clicked on campaigner there. But that's really cool. It goes really in depth here, which is really good. Like, it can look through this, the magic of everyday life. It's nice that it gives so much substance.
Yes, and the teenagers I work with, they've read it and they're like, wow, this sounds like me 100%. I'll go up just a little bit and you can just click on, strengths and weaknesses, and
nice.
Come down to the weakness, like slide down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And so then, people pleasing. And we talked about that before in some of the other episodes where we were talking about having to speak up and having to self-advocate. Yeah, that's true. One of the things that I think that I've grown in and can continue to grow in is learning how to balance the different and understand the difference between, trying to please the audience or please the other person I'm in a relationship with, as opposed to being able to find a healthy balance.
And it's so funny you say that, because this is why I changed. Because for the longest years of my life, I've always said yes to everybody.
Yeah.
Always trying to please. We talked about this in one of our episodes. So if you are listening for the first time, go back and listen to some other.
Definitely, and you'll see the link pop up in the corner for sure. Goes back to the episodes, and there's several episodes where we talk about that, where it's like understanding that. Sure, it's good to have a positive flow of the relationship, but understanding the value of conflict and understanding the value of no. Yeah, man.
Yeah. But you see how this sounds like unfocused and disorganized? I don't think that's you. That's why
Not
the
any,
opposite.
not anymore. But there was a period of time, and I remember I talked about that in one of the prior episodes where it was because you're so busy trying to do this, you end up overcommitting. And
Mhm.
as a result, it leads to being unfocused and disorganized because you can't do all things at once. You can't
Correct.
be at this person's house and then also there for your mom and then also there for your brother and then also there for your
Overly accommodating. Yeah.
yeah, and so you have to be able to set boundaries. And so I've gotten better at that. And so I'll find, I'm so anxious to kind of take this test to see where I'm at right now. But yeah, I remember having to force myself to grow out of being unfocused. I found that the calendar and keeping good notes helped me,
Yeah. Yes.
and different and like understanding each other's or understanding different styles and Justin, you can speak to this. I like to write notes and bullet points.
Yes, yes. Oh, and you know what? That keeps me organized as well. So I can appreciate that our communication styles just work, but not everybody has
Right,
such a great work relationship. So this is important. So let's say if I was like you and I love doing bullet points, but I know my partner, the person I'm working with, needs me to read it to them. They need me to sit them down and actually say A through Z of what's going on.
right.
I can't get upset and say, look, it's written down. You can read it yourself. For
Yeah.
me to be a great team member or a leader,
Ex-
I'm going to have to say, all right, I have it neatly organized for myself. But now, like with my team, at 9 o'clock, we're doing this. 12 o'clock is lunch. We are done for the day at 4 p.m.
yeah,
Everybody understands.
yeah.
That's how some people learn. So,
And I love that you brought that up because I see that in some other styles when they're not necessarily understanding each other's styles.
mhm.
You might have a manager ask for a report, and they'll say, "Well, I left it in yesterday's log," and you go read it yourself, and it's just like, "Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay."
that's not professional
Yeah,
way.
there's a better way to approach that, and maybe that's that person's style. They don't realize how their style is coming off, or their, you know what I mean,
Correct.
and doing these types of things, whether or not it's within your group, your cohort, to help understand each other better. Because a part of it is also not just helping others understand you, but you learning to understand the other person. So
If you want to master sales, you have to 100%. Sales is not selling something, sales is a conversation.
right,
So if you can master how can I speak the way you love to be spoken to, you will get the sale 9 out of 9, 10 out of 10.
yeah,
It's the only way you don't get the sale is if it's not the right time for them.
right,
If you're having a conversation, if you are speaking the way they need to be spoken to. Some people want the information direct. If you go on this long spiel about what the product does, you're losing your sale.
yeah,
So really get to know who you're talking to first. And
yeah.
this is the same in the workplace. But let's talk about sales right now, right?
And go
Yeah,
ahead, go ahead.
yeah, in sales, I'm not giving away my product. I'm not talking about my product for the first 2 minutes. I want to know, why are you here? How can we help you? What makes you happy? How can we assist you? And the way you speak, I will listen and I know that personality type.
Yeah,
This is how I'm going to sell them.
right.
So, yep, 100%.
Yeah,
Personality.
I'd like to you've brought that up also. And just two things, just to point out, us
Mhm.
sharing the link right here on the screen with you, and we'll put it, of course, down in the description of the show, but it is not an affiliate link. We're not being paid by 16 personalities to share this information with you. We're just talking about different ways to help break down barriers of communication. And this just so happens to be one of the ones that is being used by our teammates, and we like using it because it helps us to understand each other better. So
There's
um,
hundreds of them out there. So,
yeah, exactly.
we like this one.
Definitely check it out. And to your point, a couple of things like you said in terms of like the sales. So like I could see here, and I mentioned that right at the beginning. Like I'm very optimistic style, right? And I learned that like you can't be like overly optimistic, it could become a like a game changer. It could be the wrong. It could come in the wrong instance, and so sometimes you have to come in. You learn to read the room, learn to kind of be balanced, and understand that sometimes people don't need you to respond; they just need you to listen.
Like, let me give you a great example of if, like, I'm overly optimistic as well. There's nothing negative that can happen that I can't get over. You know what I mean? But if I bring that energy to someone that is afraid of the world, like, because I have a lot of students that are very cautious, adults as well, that are super cautious. If I come in, hey, you're going to break that board. It's like 20 boards, but you're going to break it and you're going to get that black belt. They're going to hear breaking boards, 20 of them. Nah, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
So really understanding who they are, I'm going to switch it up. You know what? We may fall sometimes, but that is okay. We're going to fall together, and I'm going to make sure you get up, and eventually you're going to fall enough that you're going to break those boards without even realizing you broke the boards. Now,
Really,
do you want to start this journey to earning your black belt, or do you want to keep falling and not being able to get up? Which one is it?
I
So
love
I can be optimistic, or I can bring it down to your level,
it.
whichever is easier for you.
Yeah, yeah. I've learned in a couple of instances, like if someone is bringing up something that's troubling them at work, rather than flying in with "It's gonna be okay. We've been through worse things." Blah 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 blah. They're not. They need somebody to really be for them in that moment, in that circumstance, at that time. And so it's about listening, acknowledging what they're going through, and looking at ways you can be supportive, whether or not it's listening and pointing them to a resource, or listening and being the resource. But even with like my son, and I tend to think of myself, in this way, in terms of being someone who is likes to communicate and meet new people. My son he's quite different. He's like,
Yeah.
like you leave that over there. So if I flood him with over positivity, he's just like, Dad, I just can't. In fact, I've found it works in a couple of ways. If I want to motivate him to do better, I'll tell him, unless you're doing your best, I'm gonna hop up and start cheering you on. And so he just to ensure I'm not gonna hop up and start
Yeah.
cheering him on.
That's smart. Very smart. Reverse psychology. It's
Yeah,
so
and
funny you bring that up because my wife and I were just talking about this. We have to separate our work life and personal life because at work, I'm very direct. I'm very like, this is the mission. We
right.
have to, we don't fail. And if we fail, we keep doing it until we win. But at home, I can't be that direct. I can't be, why isn't this done? We failed. No. Like you won't see me. I'll disappear. My
Yeah.
wife will ensure that if I talk to her, the way we
Oh
communicate at
yeah.
work.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I'll quickly be put in a sleeper hold and so,
yes, you understand where I'm going at. Yep.
yeah. Yeah. And even so just to talk about something simple like um, my son and I we get allergy shots,
Mhm.
and so I found it comforting to me. I don't like needles, so I just don't look at it. They stick me, and then that's it. They put it in my arm. I don't look. I feel the pinch, and it's done. But Luke, he likes to look at the needle.
Oh no.
God, that's his style. He wants to see it happening. And so that's the way he rolls. He's and good and kudos to him.
You're stronger than both of us because I tell the doctor this all the time. I will fight a bear before I let you stick this needle in my arm. Literally, all the little kids in the hospital are looking at me like, is that guy okay?
Yeah.
It takes like 5 minutes for me to like calm down and finally let
Yeah.
them do it. So
So it's nice how you talked about being able to look, like when you asked me to scroll down, look at what the weaknesses are, and that tell me, like, how do you approach that when you're working with your teammates and in a way where they feel encouraged to share those things?
yeah, so we ask for 1% improvements. That's the golden phrase. I don't want where what is wrong in your the entirety of your life, sorry. But what is 1% you want to improve on, right? And then they have the list that they can read from. So out of all the weaknesses that I kind of relate to, I realize this is the 1% I want to improve on first.
Yeah.
And then as they improve on that, then we do quarterly meetings. So it's or we do weekly meetings. But when we talk about the personalities, This is quarterly. Then it's like, all right, what's that new 1% you want to improve on?
Right.
It could be the same or it could be something new. But the mindset is we're always looking to improve.
Very
And
nice.
in the workplace, right? Different than home. We're not looking to hear you complain about your life. We're not looking to hear you complain about work. I've worked in a dental office where we were in a 2-hour meeting of people just crying,
Yeah.
complaining with no solutions. So instead of giving us everything that's going wrong, what's 1% I can improve on? Oh, this, I can see how that relates with my weakness. I will do my best on stop calling people out and pulling people off to the side. This is how we teach kids. Why am I not doing that? I am wrong. As a
Right.
leader of the company, I'm the first to say I'm wrong. And then
Yeah.
everybody else takes the lead.
That's
That's
great.
how we powerfully rise together.
That's really awesome. It's good to lead by example, but then
Mhm.
also kind of opening yourself up encourages others to do the same. And you're right, looking at some of those things there can help you not just in one aspect, but in the others as well. If I look at where it was the people pleasing and overcommitting, that until I improved on that, I wasn't able to take on a position of leadership because
Mhm.
I had to learn how to be better at being focused and being organized before I could go into a situation where I could lead a group
Mhm.
in a focused manner, lead a group in an organized manner so that we could do better for
Yep.
the agency and do better for others. And
Could you
so,
imagine keeping one person on too long?
oh,
Everyone else is working hard. You got that one person. Then
yeah,
the hard workers are like, "What's the point?
yeah,
Am
yeah.
I working hard?"
You're right. No, it's true. It's true.
Well,
And
please.
so, and it's nice to be able to also help the team see each other so that, because one thing that often happens in a lot of work environments is that, while the team might not have all their stuff together, they always create one common enemy. And sometimes the enemy is, whether or not you like it, the client, or they might make the enemy the boss, or they might make the enemy folks that don't understand them. Whereas if you go in and you help to break down these barriers and help folks understand, there's no enemy. We all
Correct.
have different styles. How do we work together as a team to move forward? And with the goal of treating each other better, being respectful to each other, working as a team, but also with whomever you might consider your client or the person that you support or the person that you want to grow with. And so
This is
it's
why our communication is there. Is like you're reading my mind.
yeah,
With my wife, my biggest thing is like it's not me versus you.
yeah,
How can exactly what you're saying? There's no enemy here.
no,
Like I'm not. We're not looking to see who's at fault, who is wrong. We're
right.
looking to just improve the situation.
That's it.
So when we go through stuff, we appreciate the fact that we grew together versus that we came up with a solution.
Yeah.
So if you put too much on the solution, then it's like, all right, we need problems so we can celebrate solutions.
Yeah,
We
that's it.
celebrate our growth. How did we come together? There's no enemy.
That's true. That's very true. And
Yeah.
another thing that I love that you brought up was also that you don't just do it once. There's something to that cycle. There's something to growth. Growth isn't something that ever ends. It's something that's continuous. And so being able to go back and looking at how much you've grown by taking the test again. And of course, this test isn't the only test. Of course, you have life tests, so on and so
And
forth.
the disc test you brought up. Yep.
Yeah,
There's
yep,
multiple tests.
exactly. Um, 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 but by taking the test more than once, maybe you choose to do it annually, or maybe you choose to do it, however many times you'd like to do it within a period of time. It allows you to grow, allows you to see how much you've grown. When I took the disc test years ago, um, um, I think maybe 2009ish and stuff, and now taking it this year, I'm very different from the personality that was selected for me back in '09
Yep.
compared to now. And so it's so interesting to see how much you grow and how much you continue to grow. Man, if
100%.
we'd love to hear more from you all out there. Please don't forget to email us. Not only share, your thoughts on what we're talking about today. Of course, the email is right there. Info at.
What's your results? Let's
Yep,
see it in the comments.
I want to see the results. Share it in the comments as
Yeah.
well, and talk about some of the things you want to see us touch on. And I can't wait to share with you all what my results are.
Yes.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. Justin, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you for a wonderful moment, a
Yep.
wonderful episode. And thank you all for joining us. I'm always, as always, Yemi Grio.
Justin Latson.
And thanks for joining us for today's show. See you next time.
Take care, everybody.